Hi, my name is Joe Stewart. I'm a Hocking College student. I only have a few quarters left. I'm really getting down on my classes. I'm taking speech in winter of 2010. I am going to go over my first speech here, and it is over Native American artifacts. Today we'll be going over everything from the Paleo period to the historical Indian period. I hope that you enjoy the speech. Thanks. We're going to start with the Paleo period, which Paleos were hunters and nomads. They moved around a lot, which meant that they would take their tools, their blades and their drill. Well, they didn't have drills yet, but just all their flint tools, and bury them, then return in the later seasons to reclaim their tools. They were around from 12,000 BC to about 8,500 BC. There were several groups of paleo. They were pretty much all over the place, but I don't think they were in war with each other real bad. From the Paleo period, we go to the Archive period, which archives were hunters and gatherers, but they were not yet farmers. They're the ones though that came out with the bow and arrow, which when you get your points that are about less than an inch long, that's usually your bow and arrow. What they would attach it to sticks, real straight sticks, and get them all nice and looking, and then take string and wrap it between another 2 ends of stick and use that as a bow and arrow. They were around from 8,500 BC to about 1,000 BC. But like I said, they were not yet farmers. From there we go to the Woodland period, which they were farmers. They were around from about 1,000 BC to about 880. They were mound builders, which meant that they cared about their dead a lot, and they believed that their dead deserved the most outrageous, and that's why they would stick them in mounds. One of my most prized possessions is from the Woodland period. It's an Adina's Robbins blade, which is about 3 inches in length and about 1.5 inches in diameter. It was mainly used for ceremonial purposes, which meant that if someone great died, they would bury them with this artifact. No, I did not find it on a mound, but it was close to a mound, which makes me think that it wasn't ever put onto the mound. It was probably someone that died from either being killed or something as far as that goes. They used your real fine flints from Flint Ridge. Flint Ridge is actually located in Lima, Ohio. It's your real fine flint, real pretty flint, doesn't really have like the dull look such as local flint, like Coshocton flint and Delaware flint. From there we go into our historical Indians, which our historical Indians use more like they all use tomahawks, but they got into like your steels, which they traded to the French for your steel. They were big farmers, and they still used a lot of your rock tools for farming. They also used rock tools such as the celt, which the celt was used for scraping hides. As you can see that it's got a real fine edge to it. It would be great for scraping hides. They even used stuff such as a rifle. They were as basic as that. They've seen that the intruders upon this country, as they call them, the white men, had all this tools, all this metal, and had more of an efficient way of living. And they've seen that, and they really started to go with it. They even used stuff to start fires. I mean, when 1,000 years ago, they started fires with a rock and a bow drill, 10,000 years ago. And they even used stuff such as steel and flint to start a fire, make spark. I mean, you can see the big difference in just the tomahawks from 10,000 years ago. You got a rock and you got a real sharp piece of metal. I mean, it was more of a efficient way to live. That pretty much concludes my speech on arrowheads. I pretty much went over everything. I hope that you enjoyed the speech, and thank you, and have a wonderful day.